You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, guys, we're going to be talking about ESPN's First Take, Stephen A. Smith, here in this video. Now, Stephen A. Smith has been at ESPN roughly, I believe, since 2004. I remember the first time I actually saw him on ESPN. I was actually in the Navy in Virginia, and I turned on ESPN, and there was Stephen A. Smith. And Stephen A. Smith definitely takes over when he's on TV. He has a very, very eccentric personality. And I believe he did actually leave ESPN at one point, but he actually did return. Now, he is the highest paid employee at ESPN. Now, I'm ignoring, the Monday Night Football guys, Aikman and Buck. When it comes to the everyday personalities on ESPN, Stephen A. Smith is the man. He's making a little over $12 million per year over there at ESPN. Now, I've been on record about Stephen A. Smith. I've said it before, guys. Stephen A. Smith is not as left-wing as many of the people over there at ESPN. He has actually said some pretty base stuff in the past. He actually told black people, stop voting Democrat. I believe this was 2015 on CNN. He said, go out and vote Republican. He would get canceled for that right now. Also, he is actually very, very good friends with Sean Hannity, who is on the right. Sean Hannity is not on the left. And Stephen A. Smith has made no bones about it. He says that he actually agrees with Sean Hannity on things like 50% of the time. Well, that probably would not actually be the norm over there at ESPN. Now, we know that there's definitely some right-wing people over there, but usually they're pretty silent. They're very, very quiet. Well, he actually had an interview with Sean Hannity because Stephen A. Smith has a book. He was actually signing books. And it sounds like he was probably trying to plan his exit from ESPN. Now, if he does and he actually gets his way, he actually won't be leaving the Walt Disney family of companies because Disney owns a whole bunch of things. It looks like he actually wants to plan an exit over to ABC to actually be the host of The Late Show with Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah, he came out and said he wants to replace Jimmy Kimmel. Here we go, guys. Stephen A. Smith tells Sean Hannity he wants to be Jimmy Kimmel's heir apparent. I'm not one-sided. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to these late night shows, they tend to pander to the left. Now, Stephen A. Smith actually came out and said that if he was to actually get this position, he would not actually be doing that. He would actually have diversity as far as, ideology on the show. Now, I don't know how that would actually work out, with people that actually watch these shows. I'm pretty sure it's a bunch of left-wingers that actually do watch these shows. And let's say, for example, that Stephen A. Smith brings on a, let's say like a Ben Shapiro or somebody like that, somebody on the right. How would the crowd actually react to that? I don't know. But let's go ahead and listen into what Stephen A. Smith actually had to say about taking over for Jimmy Kimmel potentially. Let's roll it.
But I got out of you that you have, and by the way, he's signing books. That's why it's, StephenASmithBook.com if you want to get a signed copy of this great book. But you filled in for Jimmy Kimmel.
Yes, I did.
So it almost insinuated to me that you want to be pigeonholed into one category, and
That's
you
right.
think you're going to have a late night show one at some point, and that you're interested in one or interested in other things. What are you interested in maybe doing? Because I'm doing what I want to do.
First of all, I am interested in doing late night. I would love to be the heir apparent to Jimmy Kimmel. I believe I can do it. I think that I can do it. Say what?
You're funnier, you're smarter, you're better looking.
Oh, there you go. Stop it. I would tell you, but see, I would throw everybody for a loop because my politics would throw people off because I'd be fair to everybody. and I'd listen to everybody. It wouldn't be one side. I'm not a one-sided kind of guy. I'm one-sided on issues. I'm not one-sided on ideology. I don't believe in that.
You know what? You want to know why these late night shows are failing? My colleague, my friend Greg Gutfeld is kicking their ass. I'll tell you why. Because he's funny. And, if you look at the ratings, go back to the...
And by the way, guys, Greg Gutfeld is super funny. And his ratings are through the roof.
Forget Johnny Carson. I mean, he had a 30 share. When you go back to the great years of Letterman and Leno and the competition that they had, especially Leno, he just wanted to be funny. He went after everybody. Letterman started that way. Then he got a little angrier, I felt, as he got older, a little more political. I don't think that helped him. But now I don't care if you're watching Colbert or if you're watching Fallon or you're watching Kimmel, it's like a left-wing comedy show.
That's true.
Alienating and pushing away half the country. I don't watch their show because I don't think it's funny anymore. They're so Joe Biden. They won't even show Joe Biden, who can't string two sentences together. Half of that's pretty funny if you air it, but they won't do it. It's political.
Yeah, well, first of all, I don't watch much of it, but assuming you're correct in what you're saying, it should be a problem, because the reality of the situation is there's 350 plus Americans in this country, and at least 170 to 180 million think conservatively like Sean Hannity. Okay. And so we understand that, and whether you like it or not, that's their reality. And so when you look at it from that perspective, that's why I always tell people, I say something like that. I'm a black man. I'm a proud black man. I love the black community. I love my people. But black appeal is not what I'm in search of. I'm in search of mass appeal. I want everybody. And so in order to get everybody, you got to think about everybody. You got to think about what they want. You got to think about what they need. You got to think about what they like, what they dislike, how they feel, et cetera, et cetera. And for me, thanks to the great Bob Iger, who now returned as the head of Disney, he was the one that made that happen for me, where I got.
Okay. I'm not going to play the whole thing right there. But you can see right there, Stephen A. Smith says he doesn't want to pander to black people. He wants it all. Now, these late night shows, I don't watch them. I don't. It's nothing more than a left-wing echo chamber, if you ask me. But if for some reason he did actually get this job, I don't believe he would actually be on First Take. I don't think the timing would actually work, because these shows come on late. First Take is early in the morning. So pretty much his ESPN First Take days would definitely be over. I don't know about him necessarily not covering sports anymore for ESPN, but First Take would be over, and that show would probably end up being dead. I mean, who else would actually be good at that show? I mean, it was the perfect storm with Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith, if you ask me. Now, Skip is gone, and First Take is still not great without Skip Bayless anymore. But Stephen A. Smith is an entertainer when he's actually on there. Now, I don't believe the show would actually make it. Now, can Stephen A. Smith actually be good on late night? I don't know. I know he filled in one time. I actually did not see the show, but I'm pretty sure he'll probably be funny. But late night show is so one-sided right now with the left, and he pretty much wants to bring diversity, I guess you can say, when it comes to political ideologies. Will that work out? Will he actually be fair? He's saying that he would be fair. And if it does happen, hey, bring on some right-wing people onto that show, and we'll see how that actually does go. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.